In a typical golf school environment with 12 students in the class, I'd start off by giving them a little quiz. I'd walk them around the green, drop a ball here, ask them what they would use on the golf course from here to that flag, drop another ball over there, ask them what they would use from here to a different flag, keeping track of what I thought were the correct answers. Collectively, with 5 scenarios and 12 students, they might get 15 or 20 correct answers. So in 30 years in 40 plus countries, I've never ever had a group that passed. So what I'd like to do today is I'd like to teach you a system that's a 3-club system based on creating a picture of how you would toss a ball and then simply selecting the appropriate club and shot that duplicates the picture. You don't have to buy into it, but it's better than the system you've got because you don't have one. Now, some people are going to teach you a system that says when you're this far off the green, you would use this club. When you were this far off the green, you would use this club. When you were this far off the green, you would use that club. That only takes in account one variable, that being the distance from the ball to the edge of the green. I'm going to show you the variables, the 4 variables that help you to decide what club to use, and then I'm going to use your creativity and your imagination to make the right selection. The first variable is the lie. What you have to ask yourself is, how will the lie affect the ball's performance? We have 3 balls within 6 inches of each other. One ball is going to go shorter than normal. One ball is going to go a normal distance, and one ball will actually come out a little bit hot like a flyer and go farther than normal. This is the ball, that's the hot one. It sits down in blades of grass halfway down, and there's no friction between the ball and the golf club. There's actually a little bit of lubrication. The ball won't roll up the face, it'll come out with topspin. This ball sits up on top of blades of grass and the club needs to be elevated so that we can pick the ball off the top, as if we were picking it off the top of a tee. This ball sits all the way down and needs to be gouged to get out. It's going to go shorter than normal. The other variables that we need to take into consideration are air time. Air time is the distance between the ball and where it's going to hit the green. So in this situation, I have a toss that has much more air time than ground time. We're going to define that as a pitch, and we're going to use our most lofted club, which is our 60-degree wedge, our lob wedge, or a sand wedge if needed. The third variable we're going to define as ground time. Ground time is the distance between the ball and where it's going to hit the green. Here's a situation where I have much more ground time than air time. We're going to define that as a chip, and for that shot, we're going to use a 7 or an 8 iron. If you have 3 balls and you're tossing them around the green, they can only do one of 3 things. They can have more air time, they can have more ground time, or in this case, here's a situation that's about 50-50. That we call a lofted chip, and for that we're going to use our pitching wedge. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So if you can create a picture of tossing the ball, ask yourself this question: is the ball going to have more ground time, more air time, or be about half and half? Then you can select one of these 3 clubs. The chip is hit with the 7 iron, that's more ground time. The lofted chip is about 50-50 air and ground, that's with your pitching wedge. And then you have 3 pitches with your lob wedge. You have a low pitch, a medium pitch, and a higher pitch or a lob shot, all with your most lofted golf club. Create a picture of how you would toss the ball and simply identify the appropriate club and shot that would duplicate that picture.
4 variables for club selection. 1. Lie. 2. Air time. 3. Ground time. 4. 50-50 air